6 microwaves in 6 minutes. Can it be done? And should it be done? Well, we're gonna find out. So right off the bat, for doing nothing more than driving around your neighborhood for 5 minutes, picking up all these microwaves, you're gonna make $7.80. That's right, it's 156 pounds for all 6 of these microwaves. And at an average price of 5 cents per pound for your shred, yes, you're gonna pull $7.80. But there's a way to make more by doing absolutely nothing but clipping the cords. That's right. I don't know if that shows up. Last video, I realized it does not, but it is 1.465, so we're rounding up to 1.5 pounds of copper insulated wire. It's a low-grade insulated wire, but hey, it adds up. And at 70 cents a pound, it's going to be $1.05 for literally doing nothing but 5 seconds of clipping a cord. You've increased it up to $8.85. Pure profit, absolutely. But I tell you what, there's going to be more inside. Let's check it out. Alright, so if you don't know where this is already headed, for all you new guys, there's going to be a couple screws in here. You definitely don't want to open this guy up if you can help it, especially if you're just going to get rid of it for scrap steel. Oh man, yeah, some of these you just don't want to open up, but I tell you what, we're going to take that shroud off there. Let's get to it. Alright, so every microwave is pretty much the same. You're going to have your Magnetron, you're going to have a pretty decent little transformer in there, you're going to have a low grade board right here, you're going to have a couple instruments that will have some silver in it, you're going to have some brass and stuff like that as well, and some goodies to be had. But if you guys had this microwave plugged in, I urge you just to clip the wires off of those caps and don't muck with them. Those capacitors inside of here will have a pretty decent charge. I know people will say, hey, there's a discharging loop or whatever you want to call it in there, but hey, I don't risk the biscuit and there's no point in taking them out. So we're just going to clip some of the wires off here to get them out of our way, and then we'll get the rest of the guts out of here. Alright, so we got that one all cracked open. What do we have? Well, you're going to have a nice massive transformer. A lot of the newer microwaves will actually have something different in there, but I tell you what, this may have some promise for being a dual copper. You're going to hear people talk about it. Well, these guys will either have one or both of these will be copper. I haven't ran across one that is completely aluminum, but I have seen them there. They do exist. But I tell you what, is a hefty little sucker. So we're going to get a weight on that guy. We have the Magnetron right here. That's right, you're going to see it surrounded. We will take care of these guys at the end of the video because they have a hidden chunk of copper inside there. Absolutely, you're going to want to be careful with it, but it's going to have brass bits, a few fun magnets, and some free copper in there as well. That's right. So now you're going to have your insulated wire. Again, that just goes in my insulated wire bucket, and I bring it in the scrapyard, and I ask what they'll give me for it. When they say 2 cents on the pound, I laugh, they laugh, and then we really talk about how much they're going to give me for it. You're going to have a copper-bearing motor right here. Yeah, it's small, but I tell you what, these guys do add up. They exist. They're there underneath the microwave. You see me pull it out, and that's going to be a copper-bearing material. So we'll get a price on everything that's broke down. This is going to be a low-grade power board, and that will go per pound. But I tell you what, this will have some secrets to be seen inside of those LEDs. That's right, there's gold inside there. Thought we were gonna get away from the gold. You can't get away from gold in electronics, nor can you get away from silver. That's right, there's gonna be some silver contacts in here. This little guy right here is gonna have some silver as well. There's a resistor sister that ain't gonna have much of nothing in there, neither is going to have the light bulb. But I tell you what, if you guys got a burnt out light bulb inside of your microwave, then you'll be able to replace it. Hey, that's like $4. Not this guy. This guy looks like he's done seen his day, but you never know. You never know. But hey, otherwise that's gonna have some brass, and that again is gonna be another low-grade power board. But I tell you what, that fuse has a potential for some silver along with some nice little copper around that ferrite. We're gonna have to check that out because sometimes they have secrets inside of them, and sometimes these aren't even copper anymore. Yeah, that's right, they're sticking aluminum inside of everybody's favorite Totally donuts. So that's what we got from that guy. And I know you're saying this and you're gonna go, hey Scrooge, what do you do with your scrap steel? Well, I'm glad you asked. What do I do with all my nuts and bolts and everything else? Well, I tell you what, just like that, bing bang boom, that's going to turn into a 50-pound block of shred steel. That's right, so we're going to take all of our nuts and bolts and everything else we get from all of our different material and put it in that microwave. Just in case you guys didn't know, there's a little tidbit of way for you to get extra money. All right, so we are gonna rinse and repeat. That's right. A lot of the time, it's gonna be the same thing. If I find something different, I'll pull you guys in to show you. But I tell you what, it takes just about a minute to scrap out each one of them. They're all gonna have pretty much the same material, but they may weigh differently. So we're gonna have to add all that up at the end to be able to factor that out for you guys. But we're gonna get this done and let's see what we got. All right, and so I don't know if I've showed you guys yet, but every one of these is also going to have a fan motor inside of there. Yep, majority of them are actually going to be copper, but you never know. I have actually ran in across a couple that have been aluminum, but I tell you what, we're going to collect them up and look at them all at the end. Make sure you guys don't pass these up. And now on a majority of these, they're going to be push button, unless they're a turn dial and you have a bunch of old ones. But there's going to be a secret little stash of silver in there. That's right, this guy is sticky as all get out, so you'll get him out of there with your screwdriver or whatever else, but it usually comes out pretty easy. But it's connected to that power board and stuff that's inside of there, and this is how you get your commands. But I tell you guys what, if you collect up Mylars from computer keyboards and everything else, excuse the noise, they come right off, and you'll split this guy down there and you'll be able to get access to all that nice silver. We'll collect up all these guys and we'll throw them in at the end of the video. Here we are. We got that all broke down. Yeah, it took a couple more than 6 minutes, but that's okay. We didn't make it over an hour. That's right. It took me about 10 minutes per microwave to get it to this point. So what do we have? Well, we're going to have a plethora of silver bearing material. That's right. They're going to be silver contacts in there. And for all you new guys, that is a contact box. That's right. You'll see them everywhere, and they are going to have little silver contacts inside of them that look just like that guy right there. And that's going to be some free silver. And I tell you what, for the price of silver is constantly rising, so it would be silly to pass up on that, and that's free. Now those lights, they're going to be a little more of an intrinsic value. They have an orange glow to them. I like them. I'm going to find something to do with them. But these guys, the motors that spun the trays, they're going to have some copper inside. But as is right now, if you left these guys, and those right there, they're all going to go as copper transformers in my yard. That's right. But these crab claw motors, these guys will spread open and you'll have a whole bunch of copper inside of them. But hey, don't let them fool you. Some of them will be aluminum. And I tell you what, if you just crank these guys off thinking they're all going to be copper and you throw them in with your copper wire and go into the yard and you get a dirty load, don't giggle. That's exactly what they're going to call it. And I tell you guys what, you're going to be bummed out when you find out that you're going to be downgraded considerably. So always check your copper. Now these copper transformers right here, they come in a few different varieties, little flavors. They're going to have either dual copper windings, single copper windings, or sometimes they will have just aluminum windings in there. But I tell you what, for the age of all these guys, I'm going to bet that they're going to have at least one copper winding inside of them. Now these are the Magnetrons. And for all you guys that don't know, the pink, the white, the purple, the whatever color you come across, that has the potential to have beryllium in them. Yes, and it will cause berylliosis in your lungs. Now, you guys want to be careful. Yes, there is a lot of stuff to be had inside of here. You're going to have those magnets. Those magnets, every scrapper has one. I tell you what, or 10 of them. You never know. They're like a badge of honor. But they're going to be in there. They're brittle. Be careful with them. You're going to have some aluminum fins as well and some steel. But I tell you what, if you guys want to know what one of those Magnetrons look like, it looks like this guy right here. That's right. This is how I handle them. I will put duct tape on them, and then I will go and I will cut the ends off of them. That's right. We're going to make a specific video on that for you guys, because I may have done 1 or 2 microwaves in my day. And so as long as you tape them up right away and they don't start cracking and it doesn't become airborne, you guys will be okay. And now my yard will take this. They'll give me a dirty copper price for that. I don't know how they figured that out, but they know it, and I bring them in, and when I do, I let them know I have them. But why do I bring them in like that? Why are they important? Because look, you're gonna find a nice little chunk of copper inside of it. And I tell you what, it's gonna not be bare bright, because it's just not. There's gonna be some tin and stuff like that in there. But I tell you what, we are looking at almost, if we go to a unit, 2.1 ounces just for one of those guys. And these guys will add up. And if you just keep going with them, they'll continue to add up. They're heavy little buggers. So I tell you what, don't pass them up. Just be safe while you do it. And if you have fun with it, you can clean them up like I do. That's right, I have fun with these guys. I re-round them and I clean them up, and either that or you can melt them very nicely as well, because they're a really good source of melting copper. So what else do we have? Well, I tell you guys what, you can't get away from gold. That's right, you guys thought you were going to get away from gold. There's gold in everything. If it's an electronic, there's going to be gold in there. If you look down right there, there's going to be some transistor packages right there, and they're going to have 3 legs on them, and they're going to represent a gold bond wire. You're also going to have your aluminum capacitors right there, but right there tucked next to it, that yellow guy, that's going to be a tantalum capacitor. That's right, you don't pass them up, because tantalum is a precious metal as well. And right below it, you're going to see a glass barrel diode, and you will see them everywhere all over the boards, and they have the potential to have a gold whisker inside of it as well. I know they're there, they exist, and they're for free, along with that IC chip tucked right next to that other tantalum capacitor. Again, every one of those legs is going to represent a gold bond wire inside of that chip. I can't make it up, it's there and it just exists. And every one of these LEDs, that's right, we talk about LEDs a lot. If they are an older single color LED, they will in fact have a nice gold hair inside of them. They will, and if you add them up, there's 1, 2, 10, 12, I don't know, these packages add up. So I don't pass up any of my LEDs, especially the ones that have tricolor in them. They have 3 little whiskers in them, and these boards are all going to have their little secrets to be had inside there. And you're going to have the silver mylars, absolutely, for all you guys. That's a pretty cool one, I don't know, but those mylars add up, especially if you get a bunch of keyboards. And now we're going to have our copper wire. That's insulated number 2 wire. It's a low grade wire. No matter what I do, it's going to be like putting lipstick on a pig. You just ain't going to make it look any better. So I don't muck with cutting the ends off. But I tell you guys what do we have? Well, right off the bat, we had $7.80 for literally doing nothing but finding all these microwaves within a 2-block radius of my own home. Can't make that up either. So you would have had $7.80 if you did absolutely nothing. But for a few seconds, literally, we clipped the cords off of there. We made an additional $1.05. That brought us up to $8.85. Now, every one of these microwaves took me about 10 minutes to get it to this stage right here. And where is that stage? Well, your shred went down, because of course we removed some material, but you went to $4.70 for your shred. Your low grade wire went up a little bit to $1.75. That's right, so we're already increasing on that. Now everything, like I said, those motors and that and the transformers will go for a copper transformer, and as of today they're going for 40 cents a pound at 65 whopping pounds. That's right, these guys are heavy little suckers. That's $26. Now I don't know who you are, but $26 is nothing to scoff at. So I tell you what, it took 1 hour to make this video for you guys, and we got $32.45. Now if people want it broke down, it's $5.40 per microwave, and like I said, it took me about 10 minutes per microwave. I got paid $5.40 per 10 minutes to hang out with my buddies on YouTube and make a cool video. So I tell you guys what, if you're learning anything new, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. If you're getting any value out of these videos, to my subscribers, thank you, absolutely. Leave a comment down. Do you think we should break these guys up even further? Because I know you guys are going to know that there's going to be more copper in there, and we can increase our profit even more. So for my subscribers, thank you guys. Keep them comments coming. And to my wife, I love you. And to my kids, go wash your face.